Hey guys, welcome back to the Athlete Zone podcast. Today we have a special guest with us, Nikki, and we're going to get to know her on and off the field and talk a little bit about her story, her journey to becoming an athlete, and her brand.
Yeah, so Nikki, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Yeah. So can you tell us about where you grew up and how you got into softball?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Hawaii, and I think I just kind of grew up around sports. My godmother is the assistant coach at the University of Hawaii.
Mm.
So when I was playing soccer when I was younger, my dad was like, "Oh, you should be a bat girl." So I grew up just being around that atmosphere, being a bat girl for that team, and then you have to kind of like linger in the dugout before you're allowed to go out and get the bats. And so they taught me about like balls and strikes, and I just kind of learned the game through that lens. And then I went to a camp that they put on, and I decided to join a team after that, and that was a huge part of my journey, just growing up around my family, super into baseball. My cousins play at the university now, so
They play here at Oregon State?
one of my cousins, Christian Donahue, he did, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Back when they went to the World Series, he was on that team.
Oh, cool.
And then my cousin Jordan, he came here for a year, and now he plays at the University of Hawaii. And my cousin Kyson played there last year, so just kind of grew around a sports family. Yeah.
How old were you when you joined your first team?
I think I was 8. A lot of people start out with baseball, but I didn't do that. Kind of bummed I didn't, but yeah, I was pretty young.
What's not super knowledgeable? What's the difference between like if you start with baseball and then skip straight to softball?
I think a lot of like the glove work and just basic fundamentals a lot, because the ball is so much smaller. You really have to be tedious about your glove work and your skill. So a lot of people I know that start out with baseball just have like really good like skill. A lot of them are usually like middle infielders, and you can just see in their plays really well. Not that obviously you can't be good if you don't start with baseball, but
yeah,
definitely.
I've honestly never thought about like how much like technicality goes into doing that.
Yeah. So you didn't start out like with T-ball or anything?
No.
Or, okay.
Is
that like what you mean by base?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what challenges did you face in high school, and how did those shape you as an athlete today?
So actually starting out intermediate, I was a catcher, and then their catcher for like varsity had got like injured. So I went up and I was bullpenning like in 8th grade.
What's bullpenning?
So bullpenning is just like when pitchers are warming up, you're just catching for them, and just like the area designated for their warm up is called a bullpen. So we just call it like penning.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good name.
But I kind of thought like, okay, I'm coming up here 8th grade and I'm not even in high school yet, that I'd be like, yes, on varsity. And it was just like a setback. I made JV, me and my best friend, my freshman year, and it was like a huge moment. Like I was like, wow, I'm just not going to go to college. Like my softball career is over. Like obviously you're in high school, you think like it's career ending, right? Life is over.
Everything's so much more dramatic in high school.
Super dramatic. And I'm like, wow, I'm never going to make it out of here. Like whatever. But we both ended up making varsity my sophomore year, and we started sophomore, junior, and senior year. So
well, that's pretty impressive. I remember in my high school, like making varsity freshman year was like you really didn't get it unless you were like perfect, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we were striving for that. I remember UW used to put on camps in Hawaii, and like we obviously like didn't really travel, I'm super naive, but I was like, oh yeah, this is like the one big college out there, like not knowing of anything besides University of Hawaii. So we're like, if we don't make varsity, we're not going to college. Like, but yeah, I think for both of us, or I'm just going to speak for myself, but it was a huge character building moment of like, had to figure out how to face adversity. Obviously it's not like, my car broke down and, I have to figure that out. But this is like my first thing as a, like kind of growing up, and like, okay, make sure that you're still being a good human being, even though you're really disappointed, or like, how can you keep working hard instead of just getting complacent and frustrated? So
yeah, that's honestly really good. Do you feel like you faced any like personal challenges that like may have altered your ability to focus in softball?
In high school or just overall?
Just like in general, like just throughout your whole journey of getting here.
Yeah. So actually my freshman year of college, this is kind of a crazy story. Like looking back at it, it's like, that's not real, but.
Were you here at Oregon State?
No, okay. I was at University of Texas Arlington.
Right.
And my coach was kind of like, hey, softball just isn't really for everyone. Like, if you want to stop playing. And I was like, wow, this is so crazy. I had a really bad fall freshman year. I was taking biology and just like math. Yeah, all the hard classes.
I'd be done.
And trying to be.
Yeah,
freshman fall was just not for me. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, am I basically going to have to step away from softball? Like, I was like, okay, I'm done playing. Like, and then I went home. My family's like, if you stop playing, you're going to wish you had gone back or whatever. And so I was like, okay. And then I ended up starting in the spring. But that was so scary. I was like, wow, she's like,
well, it's like a gut
cutting
punch.
me right now. I'm like supposed to stop playing. But
good for you, because I mean, you're still here.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would have just like taken that as a sign. And, like, or just like given up.
Yeah,
I for
especially
sure
in college. I mean, it's so much harder. You're out here by yourself. It's a whole new world. And fall term too. Like, you're fresh being thrown into it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then someone's like, hey, this thing you love.
You're just not good enough.
It's not for everyone.
I was like, right.
So are you a science major?
I'm a psych major.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
So I don't know. I guess this was like a baseline. Everyone had to take it.
I hate that they do
hated that too. Oh my gosh. Biology, not for everybody.
That's not for me. That's my weakest
for me.
subject, honestly.
But that definitely like another character building moment right there, because that was rough.
It's good for the plot.
Good story. Yes, it was for the plot. My coach knew. She was for the plot.
She was like, let me just test her.
Exactly. Character building moment for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So moving on to transitioning to college, what's been your favorite moment so far in your college career?
So last year, while I was at my previous school, I guess I kind of have one here too. We played Baylor. Our schedule last year was extremely hard. We were like playing Oklahoma, and we're like this small mid-major, like nobody kind of. Baylor was ranked 20th. I think they're like 21 at this point. And we beat them, and I hit a home run that game. And I think it was my first one of that season. And we ended up winning 4-2. It was just like an amazing game, like super electric. Everybody was just like all playing for the same thing, and just beating a big school on their turf was just like, wow, like we can do this, guys. Like, and then this year we beat Arizona. Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure it was in extra innings or it was like in the 7th. It was just like later in the game. One of our teammates like hit a home run, and we had just, we lost to Arizona earlier that weekend. And then, or it was Arizona State, sorry.
Yeah, but you guys play like 5 games in one weekend or something.
Yeah, in preseason, when we're playing tournaments, we definitely play a bunch of different schools, a lot of games. So, yeah, we played Arizona State. We beat them. That was super cool. Yeah. Our coach got us in and out after that. So, that's good. Yeah, always a good moment.
Do you have like a little celebratory dance that you... what's your
when you got on the home plate?
I'm not super like, I'll kind of give like a shaka to the stands, like, and then I get to home. I'm a screamer. If you look at like any film, I scream.
It's good. You're the hype one.
Yeah, yeah. But just, I don't know. My parents are like, hey, tone down a little bit. Like, I definitely scream at people, so I get in trouble a little bit. But I'm like super hype. Like we get an out, and I'm like, just yell at the
every
player.
Team needs a hype person.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I'm the same way. Like, I get really excited, and it just makes me loud. Like, I just want to jump out.
Exactly. Like, just want to, get around a little bit.
Be a little cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has being at Oregon State shaped you as an athlete?
It was actually really cool. So my uncle actually went here, and then like a while ago he played football here, and then being that my cousin went here, it was just super like, I want to go there. I want to play for Oregon State. And coming from a program that like I guess kind of built me, like they were building me up, and then getting here, it was super cool to play for Coach Laura Berg. She's actually a 3-time Olympian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's like... So
that's who you want to be your coach.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to learn from her. You want to grow as an athlete. And we have a returner, Lacey Campbell, who just like had an electric last season, just amazing. And so coming and learning from her too, she used to be a catcher. And so I think shaping me as a player through all the people, the support staff that we had, it was a lot of just building on a foundation that was already set. So yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are some goals you have for yourself? I guess softball wise, and maybe just in general.
Softball wise, I definitely want to make postseason postseason just next year in general. It'd be super cool to make a postseason team. There's like first team, second team, honorable mention, all of that. I just, really am striving for those accolades to just, have set enough, had a good enough season to be recognized for those things. I just really want to have a great season personally. I think overall our team is going to be really good next year. And so a goal would be just to make postseason and just to be a good team leader probably for next year. I'll be a senior, so really helping our program and leaving a good legacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do they do fifth years?
They do, yeah. We have some fifth years.
Are you gonna take a fifth year, do you think?
I don't have that. So I'm not a COVID or a red shirt, so I have straight 4 years.
I wasn't sure how if it was.
So you were in Texas for freshman year, and then last year were you at Oregon State?
No, freshman and sophomore year. So this is my first year.
Okay. Okay. How was the transition coming from Texas to here?
It's got to be a big culture swap. I feel
weather
like.
too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I actually, that was a little bit of the reason that I transferred. I'm obviously born and raised in Hawaii, and I kind of miss like seeing green trees and kind of miss the rain a little bit. I don't know if I miss the rain enough to be rained on.
You miss it until you get to Oregon. You're like, God, it's raining.
What island did you grow up on?
I grew up on Oahu.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Oahu.
Like in by Honolulu or like?
Yeah. Oh. That's a town area. That's actually where I'm from.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, that transition, that was a lot of it. I just wanted to be around nature, just feel like I have a piece of home, I guess. And the nature aspect of Oregon was really beautiful. Yeah, that was a huge part of it. I guess the journey in the portal was a little difficult because you really don't know where you're going to go, where you're going to end up. So
yeah, when you join the portal, it's kind of like you can get picked or you can end up with nothing, right?
Yeah, because you can't really go back.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can. Like if you talk to your school and you're like, hey, like, could I have the option to come back? Like obviously some people leave for like schooling reasons or whatnot. And so if they're not picked up, sometimes their college will be like, okay, we'll have you back. But yeah, it is really scary because you really don't know where you're gonna go. You could be like, hey, I want to go and play on the West Coast, which is a huge thing for me too. I want it to be closer to home.
Yeah.
But you never know, like if you're gonna get that or if you're gonna end up further, and so that was really scary. And then moving everything out here, 31-hour. Road trip.
Gosh.
It was brutal, but definitely worth it.
I did not realize that we were that far.
Yeah,
that's really far.
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I couldn't do that personally.
Yeah, it was far.
So now let's get into talking about your brand. What does your brand stand for?
If I'm not mistaken, I have a palm tree in there, and so that's just kind of like.
I love your logo. I loved making that one. That was really fun.
Yeah, just kind of like ties into home. Yeah. Just to kind of show like, I am from Hawaii, and bring recognition to like the island who shaped me, state into the person I am, the player that I am, and just everything that came with my journey to get me here. I just kind of wanted to recognize that a little bit, so that's definitely a part of my logo.
Do you feel like it represents your personality and values pretty well? Like your
merch? Yeah, definitely. And I think just having my number on there, we're the 50th state. So obviously, again, just recognizing home. And so a lot of it just has to do with where I'm from. And I really like that that's part of my brand.
Yeah.
Was that always your number? Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, growing up, I had number 28 and like 11. I thought it was like my lucky number. I always looked at the clock and I was like, oh my gosh, 11.
11.
Make a wish. But then I had 28 for a little bit. And when I transitioned to college, I knew that I'd want to have 50, just to have Hawaii a part of me when I was.
You get to choose?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I definitely wanted to have 50 and represent home.
I like that little combo there. But yeah, I really like your logo. I feel like it does, I mean, just from what we've already talked about, it does pretty much encapsulate you.
Yeah, for sure. Have you had any memorable moments when fans connected to you or your brand?
I'm going to tie it back to my family probably a little bit.
Yeah.
They definitely have bought a lot of my merch. And so for Christmas, everybody gets like one gift that they like will go up and Santa, my uncles or aunties will take a picture with you and you'll open your gift before you open anything else. and my uncle actually bought everyone my merch. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so they all hold it up. And they're like, oh my gosh, like it's Nikki's shirt.
That's
And
so sweet.
That's really
yeah,
cute.
it was really cute. And then now whenever family, I have a really big family. My dad is one of 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's
I have
really
family
That is big.
all over. And whenever they come to the game, they'll always be wearing my merch. So it's kind of like there's my
Aw.
family in the stands and I get
Yeah,
to,
that's really sweet.
get to see them. So they're obviously a huge part of my brand, huge part of who I am. And so seeing them like rep my merch here, even Oregon State went and played at home for baseball recently. And obviously I have cousins on the team for University of Hawaii, but my family was repping my merch. It's a Donahue too, so I guess it's like
They did the right thing.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah.
Do you see your family often? Or I guess like since you have family all over, you said, do you see like any part of your family often?
Yeah,
Like,
actually that's the really good part is I do have family all over. So when I was in California, I got to see some family. I went up to Arizona, had some family there, and then I have a cousin over in Bend, Oregon. So she's come out to a couple games, and then my uncle just made it out to our senior game because he's an alum and he really wanted to just see the campus and everything.
Yeah.
So I have family come up here and there, and I get to be supported by my family who's up here.
That's cool. So since everyone's kind of spread out, I know you said you have a cousin here, but who's like your main support system in Corvallis?
In Corvallis, I'd say my family's like the people who's my home away from home. I have Sienna's our athletic trainer, and she is from Hawaii.
Oh,
So just having that home connection. Then Amanda, she's kind of like my faith mentor, and she hosts for like a group of athletes every Tuesday. And that's who I've gotten to connect with and get extremely close with.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's a way to like grow in your faith and also just be around other athletes, get to know other people.
like from other sports and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that has, become my home base, family, surround system, people that I've grown really close to. But yeah, our athletic trainer being from Hawaii has been like huge help because obviously
Yes.
you're like,
Good to have someone.
oh
to
my
connect
gosh,
with.
I miss home. And she
Mhm.
obviously can
Yeah.
relate. So
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
for
and the
sure.
same thing with faith. Like I know a lot of people our age that are going through like a journey with their faith, and it's hard to find people to be able to come together and share that with for
Mhm.
sure.
So especially sharing that with other athletes has been huge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's one thing you wish more people understood about supporting athletes?
Yeah, I think supporting athletes now, you don't realize the impact and the support that you're having, not only on like today when you buy or support, but the impact you're having on their future too is like any small amount that they're getting, they can use either to support other brands, other people, or, help out in the community or to be saving for a master's program. People are gonna
Mhm.
like us getting our education now, we are going to be, like the adults in the future, obviously.
Yeah.
And so like, you're really just supporting who you're going to be getting support from later. Not only that, I think a lot of people, especially in athletics, end up becoming entrepreneurs. And so you're really just helping like start all of that. And it's huge to be able to support an athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think people realize how much like the little things count.
For sure.
Yeah. If you could say one thing to all your supporters right now, what would you say?
I would just say thank you.
Say it in the camera.
Thanks, guys. Yeah. I just want to say like a huge thank you. I know my family is a big support of my brand and they're really big. So there's a lot of them. And then I know some of my followers who I've posted my brand and they've definitely supported. So just want to say thank you, everybody.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. This has been a
Right.
great
Yeah.
conversation. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
this is
joining
fun.
us.
It's a little girl talk. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah, this is so fun. So thank you so much for joining us today. And to our listeners, don't forget to check out Nikki Donahue on Athlete Zone and on Instagram.
Go shop it.
Thank you.